somebody in the corner would strike out and say, I love the Lord. He heard my cry. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. I love the Lord. He heard my cry.
Welcome back to another episode of the Keep It 100 podcast. We got a fun episode today, a little bit different, and I'm here with my buddy Clayton Howard today. He joined us on episode 7, right?
Yeah, it is episode 7 or 6.
Yeah, and he was in South Korea, actually, and now
I'm back.
He's back in America. He's here in the flesh, so thank you for coming on. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Today's a little bit different. It's not really like a topical episode. What I did the other day is I went on my Instagram and asked you guys to ask questions for this episode. So we've got like a list of like 6 questions here from you guys that we're just gonna go ahead and answer and
pretty much answer the internet.
Answer the internet. It's like the GQ interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're basically gonna do that today. So I look forward to it, and guess you want to hop right in.
Hop right in.
Let's run it. All right. So the first question that we have, and you can go ahead and start off. What keeps you motivated from day to day?
Well, with my job, with me, like being far away from home and all that, what keeps me motivated is my mom's always posting motivational quotes on her Facebook and like Bible verses to motivate me. Mm-hmm. Like I wake up in the morning, I already do my workout, I'm in the shower, cooking breakfast, and I see a notification. My mom tags me in a post. It's almost every morning, and it's always an inspirational quote. She says, she'll tag me saying, never give up, all that. Like, remember why you're doing this.
Right? That's cool. I mean, it helps too when you have her like there, kind of supporting you. You know.
Yeah, even with me for the last year being 7,000 miles away,
right?
That really motivated me.
Yeah, that's definitely huge. I mean, you look and see your people from back home, and they're still pushing you no matter how far you are. So that is really cool. I guess for me, what keeps me motivated day to day is like growth. Like just wanting to improve every day. Mm-hmm. Like whatever it is I do, like I want to be better every day. So whether that be like emotionally, spiritually, physically, whatever, like if I want to, I don't know, if I want to do my schoolwork, I want to be a better worker than I was yesterday. Like I work harder.
Absolutely.
If I go to the gym, I want to do more sets. I want to lift a little bit heavier than I did the other day before, right?
Absolutely. It's nice to look back at the past and see where you were and where you are now.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's just my biggest thing. Like I'm very goal oriented. I'm a very goal oriented person. So I have goals that aren't always particularly easy to accomplish. So it's like there's genuine work that has to be done in order for my goals to be actually reached. So it's like every day when I get up, I'm like, I get to do this today. Like, let's go.
You just get up, go earn it. Nothing's given to you.
That's right. And that's what I love. That mindset's like, you got to go earn it. Like, I love that. And so that for me that's what really just gets me out of bed every day. I'm like, let's push it. There's days too, like when I got to go to work, I got to get up at 4:45 a.m. And like, I'm not a morning person at all. That's probably light to you.
Oh yeah.
That's probably light work for you. But for me, dude, I'm not a morning person. I'm just like, I don't want to do this today, but then I'm like, nah, like you got stuff to do. You got goals to reach. You got to grow. Get up. You know, that's my thing. But
absolutely.
Yeah. So are you a morning person then?
Oh no, yeah. I'm not a morning person. Especially we work late and then gotta wake up, do the same thing early. I'm like, man,
that's tough. Yeah, I am. I wake up and when I go to work, like the first hour, I'm just like completely out of it, and I like wake up. I'm like, all right, I'm awake. It's 7:30. I'm awake now. Like I'm ready to actually talk to people.
Yeah.
So the second question that we have here is, what is your favorite Bible verse and why?
You want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll start off. So my favorite verse, I actually just found this a few months ago, is Psalms 46 verse 1 and 2, and I actually had it written down because I know it, but I don't know it word for word. So what it says is, God is our refuge and our strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. And so what that means to me is kind of like a lot of times the world's a crazy place. You can look anywhere now, social media, the news, you see all the negativity that's out there and in the world, and it's just like you kind of get scared sometimes, or it's hard to like stay focused and stay trusting in God because you're like, God, like what are you doing? All this stuff's happening. Where are you? But to me, it's just like, whatever happens in your life, good, bad, God's always in control. You can always look back when no one else is there for you. God's always going to be there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why that's my favorite, and it's there for me.
So my favorite verse is Philippians 4:13, which is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And what that means to me is like, no matter where I am, what I'm facing, I can put all my fears and anxieties and stress into him. Everything that's like coming down on me in life. We had a lot of stuff break, and we had to fix it all in one day. And I'm like, dude, like this is so stressful. But like, just put all my fears and anxieties into him, all the stress, and help me pull through. Like, kept my mind straight, stay focused, stay motivated, stay confident with what I do. And at the end of the day, we got everything fixed.
Yeah.
Everything up and running.
That's super important too. I love that verse because it's like a lot of people worry and, all things through Christ who strengthens me. But a lot of the time people are worried and they're like, I can't strengthen myself, but Christ can, like it's just that belief in God and not telling yourself that, I can't do it myself. Like I need Jesus to do it for me. And that's huge. I mean, that's really the biggest thing. So the next question we have is an interesting one. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Do you want to tackle that one?
School.
Flight school?
5 years. I'm actually working on my little packet right now, so I can go to flight school and become a pilot. So that's my goal in 5 years, is to be flying whatever helicopter that the Army provides me and just completing the mission.
Yeah, there you go. What's like the challenge? What do you have to do left to get into flight school?
So I was supposed to take my flight test before I left, but with me out processing, obviously I didn't have the time to. Mm-hmm. So a couple weeks I'll be taking that. I got to take a flight physical. I got letters of recommendation from pilots right now that will help me out. It'll help me get picked up. I got to build a packet together, pretty much saying like all my accomplishments that I've done.
Okay.
And then once that packet's complete and I get picked up, I go to flight school for 2 years. Probably have to go to warrant officer candidate school. Mm-hmm. Because you're a pilot, you're an officer. You obviously got to go through the leadership courses.
Right.
And then, which, depending how long that is, that's where I see myself in 5 years.
Yeah, that's cool. Also, I forgot to say this in the beginning. We're at the home base today. We're at home. So if you can see my dog, they'll probably be in and out of here a few times. Oh, I just thought that was funny. But yeah, this is my first time ever doing an episode from the house. So it's a little different, but it's cool. But yeah, that's super exciting too. I mean, if you look, because in 5 years now, are you 20 right now?
5 years, I'll be 25.
So 25 doing all that.
I'm a pilot.
Yeah, that's super sick. I mean, and a lot of people our age too might just be getting out of college or might even still be in school, mm-hmm. Or doing something else. So like that's really cool to see.
Yeah. So what about you? 5 years?
5 years, man. That's tough. I think there's a lot of things that could play out in 5 years, but where I see myself in 5 years is right now I'm doing stock day trading, so I see myself doing that full time, like pursuing that at the highest degree that I can do that. But I also see myself running businesses, whether that be like an e-commerce business or a marketing agency. I've had a lot of ideas and stuff that are actually starting to get into the work, so that's pretty cool. But just running businesses, I don't want to say businesses like I'm a big boss or anything, but just doing my own thing and just kind of really just trying to grind and just be the best version of myself.
Yeah, being your own boss.
That's right. I don't really like the idea like when I see other people and I'm like, oh, I go to work for 40 years and retire at 65. Like I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go work for another company. Like I'd rather do it for myself, So that motivates me as well. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of where I see myself in 5 years. Really, really just doing what I'm doing now, but hopefully different things. And what I'm working towards now, I'll actually be doing in 5 years is what I hope. So, I mean, I'll graduate school here in a few months. So then once I graduate, thank you. Once I graduate, I'll really be able to start allocating more time into doing those things. But yeah, 5 years, man, I'll be I'm going to be 20 here in a few weeks. So I guess I'll be 25 in 5 years. But yeah, it's really, really exciting. Nice. And the future's going to be good for both of us, dude. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
I'm excited to see where.
It's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, so we get a UFC question next. Shout out Ethan Rash. This is gonna be a fun one. So Chandler and McGregor are fighting here at the end of the Ultimate Fighter season. Who do you got? Chandler or McGregor? This is tough. It's tough.
So the last actual UFC fight that I watched was the night before I left for basic training, which was almost 2 years ago.
I remember that night.
Almost 2 years ago. And I watched McGregor get TKO'd by Dustin Poirier. And was it the second round?
I think he broke his leg, didn't he?
Yeah, he broke his ankle in the second round. I'm like, wow, what a way for me to go out on my last night here watching a disappointing fight from one of my favorite fighters.
Because we had been there since Ruby got there early, and we had watched the entire night building up to this fight.
We watched
like 5 different fights.
We watched the fights before the prelims. Watched the prelims.
I got off work at 7 p.m. and I showed up instantly. We were there until midnight, just watching fights. And this is the last fight, really.
Yeah,
but it was still a fun night, But
yeah, and
that fight, dude.
I mean, I have been following McGregor on Instagram. I've been watching his progress and all that. He's gotten big.
You look at him; he's huge.
He's puffy.
He's huge.
So he's really puffy.
Yeah,
so
he's nasty.
I mean, just see what happens with him. See if he's still got it in him.
Right, if he's still healthy.
Yeah.
Who are you taking? Taking McGregor?
I don't know, dude. I haven't seen Chandler fight really. Because I've been so busy, I haven't had time to watch it.
Right. Well, isn't it with the time difference too? If you're watching it, it's in the middle.
Yeah, I gotta wake up early in the morning to watch the fight.
Yeah, that's at that point. You're just I don't want to.
So,
do that. Yeah,
Chandler and McGregor. How old is Chandler? How old is he?
He's pretty old too. I don't know.
They're both old.
They're both in their 30s. I don't know how old Chandler is, but they're up there. They're both up there.
As much as I would love to see McGregor, I really think Michael Chandler.
Yeah, I think I might agree with that. You look at the last.
But don't. All of you guys watch this. Don't hate on me for it because I haven't watched UFC in over 2 years.
You got to give him some slack, man.
Yeah.
He's been busy. All right. He's been busy. I think, dude, this could go either way. I think the spread with the betting, Vegas odds are going to be so tight on this one. They're gonna be really tight. It could maybe even be a pick me fight, but I think you have to look at the past couple fights. Now, obviously, it's been 2 years since McGregor has been in the ring, right? Or the octagon, sorry, not the ring. Chandler, he's lost his last couple fights. He beat Tony Ferguson, which is a pretty crazy fight. Chandler's a great fighter. They're both great fighters, but Chandler did lose to Dustin Poirier in their last fight, and it's been a little while. I did watch it. It's been a little while now, but it was a pretty close fight for the most part, I think. Honestly, I'm gonna take Chandler right now just because Chandler's been active. McGregor really hasn't been active, and again, McGregor
he's been in that building stage for a long time.
McGregor's been grinding, and I follow him too. I see what he posts, I see what he's doing. He's not taking it lightly.
You look from where he's sitting against the cage with Joe Rogan interviewing him, and you look at him now. He's puffy.
Dude, he's huge.
Dude put some meat on him.
Remember he goes, "Your wife is sending me DMs."
Yeah.
That was iconic.
Boxing his bleeding head off.
Well, the thing about McGregor though is he made the UFC. He was a part in making the UFC what it is today. I mean, he can sell fights. He can sell a fight.
Dude hasn't fought in 2 years, and he's still the highest paid athlete.
He is that. If that doesn't tell you something about his impact on the sport, on MMA in general, I don't know what does. But
yeah.
I would love to see McGregor come back and make a run, a final run before retirement. But honestly, I'm going to take Chandler in a very close fight. And I think it's going to be a decision, maybe. I think it's going to go the whole way because they're going to go really close. And I think Chandler's going to take it. That's my...
Late second, mid-third.
Yeah. Late second, mid-third? I like that. But what's up, KO? Or submission or what?
TKO.
TKO, yeah. I like that. Chandler by TKO?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Chandler by TKO, Chandler by decision. So, I don't know. I forget when that fight is, but... Stay tuned. We'll see if we're accurate. So the next question that we have here is, what is the first step someone should take to decide what they want to do for work? What do you got?
What someone wants to do for work. First step, you gotta know yourself. You gotta know what you're good at, what you're not good at. Are you good at hands-on work? Are you good at paperwork? All that. you gotta know what your interests are. Like for me, I'm in my senior year of high school, and I was a good student. Like I was pretty smart, like 3.5 GPA. Like never went to a National Honor Society because me personally, I thought it was a big waste of time.
Right.
But I'm like, everyone's talking about going to college. Everyone's talking to college coaches. I'm like, I had my fun unplaying sports at all. I'm gonna miss it, but I'm not gonna play sports in college. It's just not me. Mm-hmm. Like no coach is gonna look at me. With it being a small town, I'm not gonna go very far. I'm like, I don't want to go to college either, and I'm looking at the military. I'm like, both my grandpas served. My cousin served in the Air Force. He was a pilot. I'm like, it's kind of been a dream of mine too since middle school. I'm like, I really want to fly, and so, well, I've been enlisted for 2 years now, and I've been halfway around the world. I enjoy my job very much, working with helicopters. It's amazing.
To do a lot of fun
like it's amazing how much, looking back a year and a half ago on what I knew and what I know now, I have grown so much in aviation knowledge that like I'm surprised at myself. Yeah. So you got to find that for all you high school seniors out there, or you graduates who still don't know what you want to do, you got to take some notes on yourself and know what interests you and what you're great at.
That's huge. Yeah. The self analysis.
Yeah,
is huge.
You got to self-reflect.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I'm like everything he said. He's exactly right, and I'm basically just gonna build onto what he said. Yeah, looking at your strengths and weaknesses, seeing what am I good at, what am I not good at, how can I improve at this, how can I get better, right? You have to. I think, and also passion. You have to have somewhat of a passion or a desire to do something, because you don't want to do something. You don't want to. Let's say you have to get a college degree. For example, you don't always have to get a college degree, but let's say you want to be a job that requires a 4-year degree. You go to the 4 years, you spend all the money, you get the degree, and then you realize I really don't like this, and then you're kind of stuck. You have to do this, and you don't like your job, That's not ideal for anybody.
No,
right?
It's not.
So the good thing to do is when you're still young, like us, figure out what you want to do in high school. Try different things. Figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, what you're not good at. When I was a senior in high school, and the crazy thing is I'm in college right now. I enrolled at CCC like a month before I started school because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to school or not. And graduating as a senior, I was sure in my mind that I wanted to be an electrician and go into the trade. Mm-hmm. And it's a great trade, and I've actually learned a lot of valuable skills doing that. I got to do that as a senior in high school, travel with an electrician. It was a great experience, and it just wasn't for me, I didn't like it as much as I thought I would, and I was like, dang, I really don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And it was a month out, and I was like, well, right now I don't really have anything else. I'm just going to go to the 2-year school at CCC and figure out what I want to do from there. And luckily, I'm pretty sure I've narrowed it down to what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And the way I've done that is just testing different things out. I sold Cutco knives for a while. If you guys ever bought Cutco off me, shout out you. It was a good job. It got me experience. I really didn't like sales too much, but then I started day trading stocks shortly after that, or just looking at, not even day trading, just looking into the market, and I realized this is kind of cool. This whole stock market thing interests me, and it always had. And I was like, I'm gonna try this out, and it's been a year and a half. I've been studying it, doing it, and now I'm to the point where I'm like, I want to pursue this full time.
Yeah. Quick question: How much have you made stock trading already?
So I'm not at the point where I'm really profitable yet. Right now, I'm testing out different strategies, and I have a small account value. I don't have much in my account, but once I get and I'm doing back testing, and I do a lot of paper trading, which is you're trading with fake money, basically. Okay. I do a lot of that right now, but
Bitcoin or something.
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah. You're basically trading with you can set up at any brokerage and just be it'll say how much do you want to play with, for example, and it's give me $1 million. Now I didn't say that. I said give me $1,000 because that's relative to what I have right now.
Yeah.
And so what I'm doing with my paper trade is I'm doing everything that I would exactly do identically with real money. So I'm getting all the practice with the fake money, and I've traded with real money too, and I'm just doing that right now. My main focus with it is just getting so good at it because it is the hardest.
You want to learn the game first.
Yes, and the stock market is crazy. Like nobody knows what's going to happen with stocks, right? If anyone tells you they know what way the stock's going to go, you call them a liar and run away because they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. But building up my account right now and just doing that and just learning the game and just becoming a master at it is what I'm doing right now. So, yeah.
Well, one more thing to add on to that. First step to knowing what you want to do for work, like never stop studying. Like always keep learning and studying. Don't stop reading either. I know all you high schoolers hate to read. Reading is power.
It is. Help.
Like I'm in the Army and I still read. So
what is one book that you would recommend to anybody? Sorry.
One book I would recommend to anyone. That is tough. I mean, and obviously there's every popular Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Crap, I was reading this book on dreaming big and knowing who you are. Like that one was pretty good. I can't remember who it's by though. It's been months since I've read it.
Yeah, there's really a lot of good books out there. I was gonna say Rich Dad Poor Dad. That was what I was gonna say.
that was the one that came to mind.
That's such a good book. If you guys want to learn about money and just business and anything in general, read it. It's a great book. Kyle Huebner, guy I had on my first episode, I was talking to him the other day. He said it changed his life. And it honestly kind of changed the way I thought about it too. So definitely go read that. But I agree, never stop learning because the game's gonna change. Whatever you're doing, technology evolves. The way we do things as humans evolves. Like the game's gonna change. You know, the way that our parents did things for their careers and what they did in life is completely different than what me and you do now.
Yeah, like back then, everyone's telling them to go get a 4-year degree, go to a big university. I mean, you look what big universities are doing nowadays.
Right.
Like they're making people insane.
It's true. Yeah, it's so true. I mean,
for those of you at big universities, let me know if I'm right or wrong. If you say I'm wrong,
you're wrong.
You could be. I'm sorry, but you could be proving my point.
You could
not to offend anybody, but
yeah, never stop learning and look at your passions, look what you're good at, what you're not good at, and just figure out how you can be the best version of yourself is really what I have to say. But so our last question that we have here to close us out is what motivated you to take a leap of faith and try something new like this podcast? That's a great question. Honestly, I was trying to think about this a little earlier. I would say I just felt called to do this. Like, sometimes when you just feel like you're obligated to do something, in the back of your head, you're like, I feel like I should do this, Mm-hmm. Have you ever felt that? Like, you're like, you're thinking about something for a prolonged period of time, and you're like, I feel like I should do this. And it just keeps reoccurring in your head.
I mean, look where I'm at.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right?
definitely what happened. That's 100% what happened.
Exactly, and that's exactly what happened with this. I've always liked podcasts. Joe Rogan's podcast, love it. Full Send podcast, love it.
Yeah, I think for me, what the deciding factor was, I remember being in my senior year civics.
Civics.
I didn't take physics. Senior civics class. Teacher was talking to us about civil service, about doing community service, helping out your community, military services, civil service. I'm like pretty much just like being a selfless person. I'm I was always thinking about whatever branch I'm joining, not the Marines or the Coast Guard, or the Navy. But I was like, whatever I'm gonna do, it was always in that back of my head, and that was the final pushing point. Doing selfless service, which is one of our values that we do. Is something we hold near and dear to us is selfless service.
Yeah,
and that was kind of that motivation for that leap of faith I took, enlisting at 18 years old and leaving home a month after I graduated high school.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
And
that's
then
really hard to do.
Yeah, and then what was it, 6 months later after I left, I went to
Wasn't
Korea.
it? Yeah.
6
Yeah,
months later
like,
after I left, I went to Korea.
South Korea, like the opposite side of the
I was
world.
like,
okay.
I was like, I graduated high school last year. I never would have thought I would be in South Korea.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty insane to think about.
Yeah.
But now you can look back on and be like, I was in Korea.
I was like, dude,
like, yo.
I'm like, oh, like, dude, I've only been back 3 days. I'm like, that was the greatest decision of my life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was like, that leap of faith is amazing.
Yeah, and that's really what this was.
It changed me too.
And that's the biggest part. Like, you do leaps of faith like that, and you have sometimes you have to take a risk. There's risk involved.
Leaps of faith will change your perspective on life.
Dude, that's so true. Like, it makes you think about things differently and shows yourself, like, your risk management, and it just shows you how much you can grow by doing things like that.
Yeah.
And like this, I just kept getting this feeling like I should do this. And I completely think it's God. God's like, this is for you. This is one of the things I'm going to do to use you. And I was like, cool, let's run it, Let's get the equipment together and let's make this happen. I've never been a public speaker. I've never done anything like this before. Like,
yeah, leaps of faith. You got to put your trust in God, dude.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, and also from like an entrepreneurial perspective, you don't get anything if you don't risk. To get some rewards and some things like the high points in life, you got to put something on the line.
You got a big decision out there. Take it. You never know if you don't try.
That's so true.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't make.
I like that. Was that who was that? Was that? I'm trying to think of who's. I know the Michael. The office quote was Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky. But who was the actual athlete? Was it Wayne Gretzky? I don't know, honestly.
I have no idea.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, one of those guys, I think.
I don't know. It could be a bad.
That's such a good quote, though.
Yeah. I mean, we say that all the time when we go to the range.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, just put yourself out there. And there was this thing I heard that said, like, when you feel nervous or you feel like you get a little scared and you like, oh, should I jump? That's exactly when you jump. That's what the guy said. Like, when you feel like you shouldn't jump or you start to get nervous, that's exactly when you should jump, because that's the risk. That's the big decision right there. And in the end of the time, you're going to find out after you grew, you're going to be like, yo, that wasn't so bad, and look where I am now. Right?
Yeah. I mean, look at your podcast, for example. It was like 10 episodes. Like, I mean, you weren't getting that many views, 10 episodes. Right. You were getting like 1 or 2 views internationally. I looked at your podcast 2 weeks ago, and you're getting hundreds of views all over the world, like all over the States, Europe, Asia.
Dude, it's crazy.
Like I showed one of my buddies in Korea your podcast, and he showed all his friends.
Really?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I actually have a very good question for you. So our episode on the Spotify analytics, number 7 that we did, I think, whatever. That was the highest viewed listened to Spotify episode. And
really?
So the weird thing about this is, the completely weird thing about this is,
spies are listening to me.
Yeah, these guys, these Chinese spies. The crazy thing about this was, though, so there's a timeline that shows me the views. And it's 1 day, 5 day, 10 day, 30 day, 60 day, 90 days, right?
Right.
So 30 days in, it's got like 35 downloads, which is pretty typical for every episode is about 25 to 30 downloads at 30 days. 60 days come by. All the other episodes have bottomed out 45 downloads, right?
Okay.
Our episode at 60 days is at 150 downloads.
Wow.
Do I know why? No. 60 days out. That's 2 months later.
Wow.
150 downloads. I'll have to show it to you after this. 150. I don't know why. I don't know how. It goes in 30 days. It goes from 35 to 150, and maybe that was it. Like that happened. I don't know, but I just wanted to tell you.
We made that in the summer, right?
I think we did it in August. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be like September, something like October.
That could be around the time where like people are starting to drop out of college. High school seniors are trying to figure out. They're like, dude, I don't know what I want to do. And the recruiter walks in and they listen to that episode. They're like, oh, he loves his life. Let's go.
There it is. Let's enlist, baby. But yeah, I wanted to tell you that. Isn't that really weird?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, I check it every once in a while just to see how the analytics are doing. And I go on there, I'm like, my jaw dropped. I'm like what? Like, what is that?
That's insane.
But yeah, like he said, I mean, if you look at it, like the analytics across the board, I'm in like a ton of different countries. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why, but like cool.
There's a bunch in Germany, France.
I'm in Dubai, Ireland, like what? Mexico, like Brazil, like who'd even thought?
Yeah, I know. Like, and you started this about.
I started last May, so we're coming up on a year.
Almost,
it's about
your 1 year
9 months in.
anniversary.
We're coming up on. We'll have to do something special. For
Yeah,
that. That'll be
to.
cool. You want to come back on for that? We'll have to do a Zoom. We'll have to do Zoom. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to do Zoom.
We'll do a Zoom
because I'll be out of town.
Yeah, we'll do something. That's so crazy to think about too. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, look at you too. You took a risk. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. And you've been to South Korea and you're working on freaking helicopters. Like,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
And like you enjoy it too, right? Like you.
I love my job.
Yeah, exactly. Like you found, like what you love, and it's just like, look what a little leap of faith in your life can do. So.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you make either.
Yep.
Like I don't make that much money. As long as you're happy, like money. I mean, money can buy stuff that makes you happy, but like the amount of money you have, or the amount of money you make, just not gonna make you happy. As long as you're doing something you enjoy, because you can make as much money as you want in the world, but if you hate where you work, you hate the people you work with, like what's the point?
Right.
Because you're just gonna be miserable.
Yeah, I agree. I was talking to a mentor of mine the other day, and he said, if someone offered me like $1 million or like a crazy amount of money, like a salary to do something that I wouldn't want to do, he's like, I wouldn't do it because, and some people like, who haven't seen money before, like who, haven't always had money might do that right away. But when you realize if you realize you find something you don't like, it doesn't matter. Any amount of money, it's like, I don't want to do that. It's crazy.
That's like all the kids going to enlist right now. They see a big bonus in front of them for a job that like they make sound cool, and then they get to it and they realize, yo, this sucks.
Yeah. Yep.
And like how big's that bonus? Like $20K, $40K.
Right.
In the long run, it's not that much.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I have a similar experience when I was gonna do an electrician thing out of high school. I mean, at the position that I was looking at joining, I would have been making like 50 grand as an 18-year-old, which is like pretty crazy for an 18-year-old. But like, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm gonna be rich.
Yearly?
Yeah, yearly as an 18-year-old, like just starting out, right? As like just starting out. That's what it would have been. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is gonna be so cool. I'm gonna be rich. And then I was like, I don't want to do this.
You didn't enjoy it.
I was like, this sucks. I don't really enjoy this. I'm like, you know what? Forget that. Like that's really it. Money's not everything, and yeah, I mean that's really the biggest thing. But yeah, this has been good. Well, I want to do more episodes like this.
Yeah,
where you guys ask questions.
Yeah, answering these questions was fun.
It is because
it was really fun.
Because like as cool as doing specific topics are, after a while I get burnt out, man.
You just run out of topics.
Right.
Get these questions like this. Like I didn't know any of the questions before I came on.
Yeah, before he got here, like before we did this, I just like, all right, here's the questions. Like right as we
got
up here, I was like,
and then
here you
2
go.
minutes later we're recording.
We're going. So that's the cool thing about it. But I just try to avoid burnout every once in a while. So maybe every like 7 to 10 episodes we'll do something cool like this, where me and somebody else come on and we just answer questions or we do something, something to switch it up a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for coming on.
Appreciate the questions.
Yeah, thank you guys. If you if you asked a question, thank you. I appreciate it. If you didn't ask a question, you can go to my Instagram for the next one. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. It is at the Keep It 100 podcast.ig. I would love more interactions there. I'm going to be trying to be more active on there and posting more. So go check that out too. And if you guys want to have a question answered in the next episode, follow me on there and look out for that. And we answered every question that was asked.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. If you guys ask questions, we'll answer everything that get asked.
Yeah, great questions too.
Yeah, absolutely great questions. I loved it. So thank you guys for watching. Clayton, thank you for coming back on and joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you guys for watching.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.